So why did you choose to come and do RM?
But I chose it because it seemed like the most effective way to actually get results for patients based on what I had seen in videos or in all the material. And I suppose with my business, I was kind of doing the same thing every day. I was getting just a little bit over it, really. And it was kind of, I just needed a change. So it was either, do another profession or go somewhere else, or, I just had to find something else. And then I saw that. And what about you?
I've been a physio for a long time and, again, probably over it at certain points, and I keep reinventing what I do. And I just happened to come across this one night at about 10 o'clock at night after deciding that I'd go back into practice after 4 years of not working. And I came across this and I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning, which I can tell you is pretty late.
Yeah.
And the next morning, it was on Sunday night, and on Monday morning I rang at 9 o'clock and just booked in. And that was it. I was sold just on everything, the business content. So that's probably what really got me, was the business content.
Yeah.
And then I think that the fact that the results for clients are probably really there. So it's just that whole change in mindset.
Yeah.
And I think even though being experienced 20 years out, I think this just, I wish I'd had this earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm so glad that we've done it, and I can't wait to do the CP part.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
I can't wait to learn more about, the business part and get it into practice and just do it, I've sort of been thinking about it, and it just seems like it's exciting, It adds excitement to the profession for me. So
I've spoken to physios who have heard of it, and I've been sort of quite surprised by their reaction to it. And it's certainly, even not necessarily the RM method, but just the concept of charging more for a consult.
Yeah.
And just the reaction that I had to that was, a physio session for $200. And I just was amazed that they wouldn't actually value themselves higher than what they currently are.
Yeah.
And I think regardless of whether it's 200, 100, whatever, I was just amazed that people don't actually value their time as highly as they should.
I've had the same sort of reaction. I've had people who must have seen some videos, and they've said like, similar things like it can't be real, or how can these physios charge so much? Like, they're obviously, they're not doing physio, they're doing something else. They're not treating, and I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of money just to relearn something else because I've already gone to uni and I already know all that stuff.
I think probably also maybe putting money aside now. I think having actually practiced this over the weekend, especially the results that we had today, I think those wow moments of how much range, improvement in signs and symptoms objectively that we got. You were a real client with real problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just the changes that we made in such a short amount of time, I think I can just see how quickly patients are going to get better. They're going to be happier. I'm going to be happier, spend more time with them, more quality time, and I think it's just going to be a win-win. So that's a positive for the profession, not a negative. I see nothing negative in anything that we've done at any point in the whole process.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think it's just the way the profession needs to move forward is just take some of this on board. I'd love to see it at universities, and this should actually be...
Yeah, it would be great if
from
it was
grassroots, back to the beginning, not now, 20 years down the track. I think that's such a shame to be experiencing it so far down the track. I see these young physios who can just make so much more of their professional life and be so much happier, and I look at the physios at Peru and I really envy what they've got. They've got this mentoring process, the different levels of seniority, and involving each other in their sessions. It's just so far removed from what I've ever seen before.
Yeah, myself as well.
Yeah. And the instructors on the course as well, who are obviously also in Brisbane, I see absolutely no difference between, there doesn't seem to be any threat from any other practice. That's something that I really love, is that coming into an environment where it's all physios, usually my experience has been that everyone's a little bit competitive. They don't want to, they don't want to talk about what they charge. They want to talk about what they do. They don't want to talk about all those aspects. Whereas in this community, it's like everyone just wants to help you. They want to, they go through leaps and bounds to try and make things as easy as possible for you. And I think that's really another attractive feature. If you're at all interested in anything that we've mentioned, or If you're looking for a change in your professional career, or even just getting some career pathways, definitely worthwhile looking into this. And Michael and the team are just so easy to talk to, and very
just inquire, call, just see what it's about and go from there.
Yeah.
If anyone has ever wondered why, when they're treating a certain condition and they use the same treatment technique for the same presentation, why they don't get 100% consistency, I think if you come to this course, you'll find out why that happens. Following the RM process, it really gives you a lot of freedom, you know. You run through it and you know, no matter how much time you take or how much, you know, you find in the client or how much you don't find, you're going to get to the answer of what might help that person. So there's a real confidence and freedom in that, you know, you just trust the process.
Obviously, compared to other courses, this is a substantial financial, commitment, really. So it is a lot. So obviously, you want to do a bit of research to make sure you're getting to something positive. And I think to start off with, the website was really good, and they had a lot of good material there, enough to spark curiosity in myself personally. And then, realistically, once you know that, it's always ticking in the background. I actually heard about RM a few years ago, and again, that curiosity kept ticking. And then again, getting stuck in the physio rut just sort of sparked that curiosity again. And the price at that stage, I guess, wasn't as much of a factor, because I just thought, I have to at least try something different. And I'm glad I did it. I look at it now and I'm thinking, well, do I think about the money that I put towards it at that stage, even though I had a lot of personal things going on that required money? I'm happy that I did it, and I'm happy that I did it at this stage as well. And have to let go of that, I guess, scarcity mentality or whatever, just knowing and being confident that there is something a lot better to this, which is, in the long term, going to benefit me and anyone else that's going to do the course a lot more. I think if you are curious about it, and again, you've heard a few things, it sounds quite bizarre, but once you actually do inquire, it makes more sense. These things are really achievable if you follow the steps.
I did the TDT course in the conference before I did the full paradigm, and and also my boss also informally taught me a little bit about it. So I was pretty much sold when my boss first sort of talked about it, because I did feel as a physio prior to that I had a lot of inconsistent results, and I was excited that there might be a process that I could follow that would mean that my results would at least be understandable. I could account for the inconsistencies at least, or at least I had something that I could reflect back on if things didn't go the way they planned. The way I planned. Anyway, so after doing the TDT course and the conference, I was even more excited, because I was watching all these other examples where patients and clients were getting a lot better with very unusual places that were being treated, and they were getting a huge increase in their objective signs. So I was even more excited about that, and so once I did the paradigm, I really feel like it all came together for me, and I'm really excited about trying and starting using it full time when I get to work on Monday morning. Even if you're just mildly interested, I would really recommend just giving them a call and just finding out what it's about, because you won't regret it.